It's time for another baby update.
Yay.
Yay!
It's a bup date.
It's a what?
A bup date?
A bump date?
A baby
update. A bup date. Or did I say it right?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I didn't think it through when I said it.
Okay, Grace, but we'll run with it. Why not? Today's the start of the third trimester. So I thought today was a really good time.
It's the home stretch, right?
It's the home stretch. Third trimester already. It's crazy. 28 weeks. I'll show you the little bump.
It's
or the
not
big
little,
bump.
yeah.
No, she's
Whoa.
you can even see the belly button. And I actually posted a photo on my Instagram today, bare belly. And I was like, should I post a bare belly photo? And I was like, fuck yeah, I should. This is such a beautiful time. And my belly looks beautiful. And to see your body change is remarkable because as a woman, we're pretty remarkable to produce a freaking baby in our stomach and give birth to it. So I proudly showed my belly on my Instagram today, and I don't feel bad about it.
You shouldn't feel bad about it.
No, I know.
I will never be able to give birth to anything but other stuff. So I think I think that, Sam, this is your journey.
Yeah.
You know, you have so many followers and so many women that
I don't have so many followers.
Believe it or not, you do. Okay, that's a lie because if you, I'm a comment reader and people are obsessed with Sam's pregnancy. That and you always look great, but you're so relatable. And by you going on this journey with us via social media,
it's fun.
It is very fun. Even I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool.
Informative. I'm learning while you're learning. I'm sure a lot of viewers already know because they're moms, or maybe they just understood biology more than I did.
Maybe they paid attention.
Maybe they paid attention. But I'm learning so much, and it's so fascinating to me. And then to experience it, you're like, wow, my body is fucking magic.
Okay, so now that we have established that you are beautiful and wonderful.
I don't know about that, but thank you.
Well,
Grace.
that was him. I didn't say that. I'm just regurgitating.
Good.
So don't
Keep
let
it
that
real,
go to your
Grace.
head.
Wow, Grace.
Keep it real.
I don't follow you on anything, just so you know.
Yes, she
No,
does.
I do. I have some questions.
Yes.
So does your skin feel tight around your stomach now that it's like bigger? Like you feel like a tightness?
It itches.
Okay, so then
And you
remember,
feel a tightness and it itches.
Remember like second trimester when it was like visible that you were pregnant and I would like push on your belly and be like, does that hurt at all? And you're like, no, it just kind of feels like pressure. Would it hurt now that the skin is tighter?
No, you should feel, you should just feel like the belly.
But if I like press in, first of all, it's really hot, Sam. Is that normal?
Yeah, we run warm.
But it feels
pregnant
like
women
I can't
run warm.
like press. Oh, I guess I can.
And she's
press
just
in
gonna
a little
get,
bit.
so right now, okay, so your uterus starts at the size of a pear and then it'll grow to a watermelon.
Damn.
So I don't know what she's at right now. I know that she's the size of an eggplant, they say, but I don't know my uterus.
What's the difference between the uterus and everything else?
Well, the uterus that's what's expanding for the baby, right? So that's gonna get to like a watermelon. So I still have 2 to 3 more months, where the belly. So she's the size, just to what I get an update, every week. So she's the size of an eggplant. She's over 2 pounds. I haven't had my most recent doctor appointment. I mean, I went to my most recent doctor appointment, but this is generally speaking based on my app. Right now, today, she's around the eggplant size, over 2 pounds, almost 15 inches. So you think of the size of a ruler plus another 3 inches, that's pretty long.
A long baby.
So she must be like this inside, but right now, I mean, she just needs to quadruple her weight. So she's like a skinny baby, fully formed, probably wrinkly, and then she'll put on her weight in the next few months.
That was where I thrived when I was in the uterus. That is where I really thrived. I was about 10
in utero.
When I was in utero, I was about 10 pounds by the time of it.
Was your mom late?
Because
that could be, if she's late, then
my mom's
10
sort
pounds
of like
is normal.
Not actually blacked out, but like when I ask her about like, hey mom, remember when you had me? It's like kind of all a blur. My brother got a baby book. I did not. She was like, I just did not have the time. So it's all sort of like guesswork. I was like, what was my first word? And I asked my mom like what my first word was.
What was your first word?
No, she was like, it might have been something like mom or maybe juice. I'm like, those are 2 different things.
I bet it was juice. I bet it was juice.
I love juice.
Juice is good.
I was already ahead of the curve of like fresh pressed, cold pressed juice.
Yes, girl.
I was like, juice, get on the juice business.
Yeah, and I don't even know if you could have a fresh pressed juice at that age because it's unpasteurized.
This feminine bonding, it's very beautiful.
I know. I told Grace.
Do you have any questions
earlier?
We can ask
I
her
do.
anything.
Oh well, I'm all for. I'm always Team Samantha Shocker. So as another gift for you, so you don't have stretch marks afterwards. Angie Everhart says Palmer's cocoa butter
I've been
oil.
using Palmer's.
Boom.
Yes, I've been using Palmer's, and if it happens, it happens. That's a beautiful part of pregnancy. Your body's going to change.
No, we're not.
But if you want to minimize it, But if you want to minimize them, which I do, I use the Palmer's cocoa butter, and then I mix that. Clarins has an oil.
She said Clarins.
Is it?
No, you're right. But I'm saying like people say, I mix baby oil. She's like, I miss La Mer oil.
But Clarins, the reason why I got Clarins, and it's a French company, so
yeah, Clarins is great. No, they're awesome.
I don't know how.
Okay, so Clarins is like they have a pure oil. When I researched like great way to prevent stretch marks, that popped up more than the cocoa butter. I combine them, and it's like a pure rich oil. So I put that, I slather that out a couple times a day. Yes.
I have a question. It's a little personal. Can you, if you wanted to, have sex when you're in your 3rd trimester?
Yeah, you can. In fact, because you have so much blood flow and all your hormones are amplified, your climax is like
awesome.
Like very Twilight-esque. It's very
Twilight.
Like meaning they say vampire sex is the best sex.
Pregnant sex is the Twilight Zone.
I have friends who said that pregnant sex is amazing.
I mean, everything's heightened because of like the blood flow and all of that. So yes, you can if your doctor tells you can't. So it's really healthy. I remember when I first was pregnant, I was even scared. Like, could sex be bad? Like I knew nothing, and it's 100% safe and okay. I know towards the end of the 3rd trimester, it might induce labor, but maybe that's a good thing. Let's say you're late. So just talk to your doctor. For those out there, yes, it's 100% okay, but if your doctor says there may be a complication because of A, B, C, D, and E, then listen to your doctor. But generally speaking, it's 100% safe and okay and great.
Do you want more kids, Sam, after Sophie? Like,
yes.
How many kids do you want?
I think, I've always envisioned 2. If I had more, that's awesome, but I envisioned 2. I even said to Grace earlier that I hope my 2nd is when Lizzie has her 1st. So we can go through it together because it's so cool and it's so cool. Like even just, I feel her a lot now. So she kicks constantly and you can even see my belly move, and my husband can finally like see his daughter like in my tummy. And
Mark, let's talk about Mark.
I was actually, I had a lot of
Mark has been amazing. My husband has been so amazing, and he has apps that tell him like his are more daddy oriented. So maybe those are the ones you should look at because they teach you how to be supportive.
Yeah.
You're not going to be going through what Lizzie's going through, but it'll tell you what she's going through so you can relate, but then it'll give you tips on how to alleviate like her back pain, how to like,
Yeah, well, this is something that we were talking about, which by the way, you guys should know, I'm just dating Lizzie. So like we're just getting excited because Sam's pregnant.
Not?
Like it's not like on the horizon anytime soon. But we were talking like if and when she is fortunate to be pregnant one day and I'm in the picture, like what sort of a book would I
There's a ton.
have? Like
There's
I don't
a ton.
Because here's the thing. Also, is that I am a girl, but that's like not like I also am a little bit more gray gender, which means that like I just don't really care about my gender at all, and like I don't really feel comfortable with things that when people are like you're a strong woman, I'm like allegedly. Anyway, so. I don't know if I'd be more comfortable with like a dad book. I know a mom book wouldn't be for me, but I also don't think I would really want something where it's just like general, vague parenting book. Like I think I would want something more specific. And I wonder if maybe you guys can let us know if there are those sorts of options.
That's a great question,
because
Grace.
I think like probably the dad stuff would make more sense for me.
But they are very specific. There are some books that are more general, but then there's ones that are definitely, the ones that I've gravitated towards might be like, all about midwifery, midwives. So I want to learn about that and what my options are there. Some of them will be like all about a diet and organic. Some of them may be about just baby furniture. And some of them might just have chapters on those. So I've gravitated towards ones that will really dive into like a niche. And then I'll read one about something else and then one about something else. So I've read a ton of different specific books, and that's helped me.
Right.
Mark's books have been pretty general, but then his apps that give him tips daily, he says has been more informative and helpful than sometimes the books, because every day it gives him a little bit more of a tidbit and what he can do and what I'm going through. Like he'll say, she might be more, it'll talk about how hungry I get. and that if I lose my temper, like don't take it personally. Like she literally can go from 0 to 100 when she's hungry, and I've learned how to manage that. But in the beginning, I didn't. I remember being in the car and I almost freaked out. I was like, "We need to find food now." And now I always have snacks in my car. But you like go your hangry levels through the roof, and then it talks about like what the baby like. He wrote me earlier. The baby, it said that Sophie now has billions of neurons. And that's so cool to think like her brain has billions of neurons. I remember when
that's insane.
Insane. And now she has eyelashes, and now her eyes are open, and those
her
are things.
Eyes are open?
Her eyes are open.
Underwater?
Her
Doesn't
eyes
it
are
hurt?
maybe
It's
she closes
magical.
them, but
It's
she can
magical in there. They
open
can
her
see
eyes.
underwater.
She's practicing crying and breathing through the water and the amniotic fluid.
She's crying in there?
Well, no, they if you were to, the way they describe it, I'm not a doctor, no, but the way they describe it, if you were to look at like an ultrasound right now or a sonogram, you'll see them making those faces, and that's their main communication tool. So they need to be practicing, right? So she's practicing whether or not something's coming out or not. She's practicing that because that will be her main form of communication.
Question.
Yeah.
I was reading an article about Chrissy Teigen and postpartum.
Oh, that was such a great article.
It was a great article. Yourself, when you talk to your doctors, are they talking to you about postpartum, the possibility of it, and how to, and like, is there anything you can do to possibly prevent it while you're still pregnant?
It's interesting. I was just researching it because of the Chrissy Teigen article, and I'm so glad that she brought that to the forefront because I know a lot of women personally that have gone through it. It's devastating, and then they have the guilt factor on top of that because you think you're supposed to be this like incredible mom that's so in love with your child, and you are, but you're also going through something pretty gnarly, and then you feel guilty for like admitting that. So I know that towards the end of my pregnancy, that's a big part of my OB-GYN and I will talk about. And I ended up deciding to stay with my OB-GYN because I also toured birthing centers, and that would have been, I give birth with a midwife, and there's pros and cons to both. I loved my OB-GYN so much that I want to stay with her, and she has midwifery experience. And Cedars-Sinai now, the hospital, they have this new, and I'll get to that question, sorry, but this all correlates. But Cedars-Sinai in the past had a higher cesarean rate, which scared me. Why is your cesarean rate so high? Is there too much intervention? Are you not informing and empowering the women to make their own choices? And but now they have this new policy that they have called rock and roll, where it really empowers the women to move more, to squat when she gives birth, even if she's on an epidural. They have midwives now that rotate with the doctor that will help get you in a position. So they have aromatherapy. They have so many different options that they've adopted from midwifery, which I think is so awesome because it's lowered their cesarean rate to like 18%.
Wow.
So that made me feel like, okay, I'm getting the best of both worlds. Now, if I went to a different hospital that didn't adopt all that and I was like stuck on my back, I may have thought to give birth with a midwife like at a birthing center. But so my OB-GYN, who I love at Cedars, those are some of the things that we're gonna talk about closer to the end of my pregnancy. And she said too, there's a number of things. For one, I guess if you have low iron, and you're used to being anemic, then for some reason, I'm not a doctor at all, I'm just regurgitating what I hear, that could play into it. Also, if you have a history of depression, also there's things that you can do that don't have real science behind it, like having the placenta pills, but a lot of women swear that it works for them, so I'm gonna try it. Again, just because it doesn't have data, it doesn't matter. It's a couple $100. You give your placenta to like this company that makes it into a pill, and then you take it, and if that can help me, then I'm gonna try it because it's scary, I've dealt with depression in the past, I've dealt with anxiety in the past, and if I end up having it, I'll deal with it. But I wanna do everything that I can to hopefully prevent it, and if that means the placenta pills or something else that I may learn. I'm meeting with a doula today, she was on our show, Ivy. I'm meeting with Ivy today, and Ivy, I'm sure, will give me a wealth of information. And I'm sure when I talk to my OB-GYN, she'll give me a wealth of information, but they do talk about that, and they should. And that's awesome, and I'm glad that they talk about it because that's only gonna well equip the mother to handle it better when and if it does come about.
I can also give you a wealth of bad information. Like if you ever want to just balance that out, being like, oh, like this sounds really good and sound, then you can come to me and I can be like, I heard that you should deliver while you're running.
Hey, at least you're upright. My biggest fear has always been being on my back.
Kind of like squeezing out a fart like while you're running.
Yeah, no.
Sam,
I don't know. It's a wealth of bad information.
Yeah.
Living in Los Angeles, I mean, you're such a busy woman, and you have this career, and you have this business.
What do you do?
And you are busy. Has there ever been a time during your pregnancy where you're in your car or you wake up in the middle of the night and you're panicked and you just are freaked out?
Yeah.
That like and how do you handle that?
Yeah, I've been relatively actually really calm. The first trimester was a little overwhelming. I wanted to make sure that I did everything right, and I was, and then I was so tired and so sick that it was hard to like manage work and being pregnant, and I was afraid I wasn't gonna get work because people would be like, oh, she's pregnant. Why invest in her right now? And that sucks. And really what happened is I've had more work than I've ever had. So it's great that hasn't come into play. And I know it does for certain women. Some people are discriminated against because they're pregnant, and that sucks. And maybe I have been without me even knowing it. Who knows? Maybe my agent's been submitting me and they're like, yeah, no. But I think we can do it all. And I hope that I can do it all. And at the same time, there are those days where you crash. So that's my body telling me stop. Like you're doing too much. And then there's moments where I have my mini freakouts where I just hope that I'm gonna be a good mom. I hope that I don't do anything bad. I hope that I
You're gonna be
well
a great
informed.
mother. You are going to be a great mom.
For sure.
When you have those thoughts, call anyone in your life. There are so many people that love you that will. It's normal to freak out.
Yeah.
If you
I just want to make sure I'm gonna start taking parenting classes. Like when I know I'm gonna give everything to my daughter. I know I'm a great mom in that sense. I'm gonna sacrifice everything, and I can't imagine doing anything less. But it's like, what if I don't swaddle right? What if I don't? And I know I'm gonna learn all those things.
But
what if
Sam,
I'm not
if you were
breastfeeding
a bad
right?
mom, you wouldn't be worried about it. If you're a bad mom, you're like, she's gonna pop out, probably on a run like a fart, and then I'm gonna nail it. And then I'm just gonna be an awesome mom, done and done.
There's so much to learn though.
You're gonna do it though, because you are you. Like remember that.
Thank you.
And also like you and Mark, you're just gonna be great parents.
Thank
you. Have it.
We have a lot to learn. I want to ask the viewers, like, if for those that have been pregnant, what their nesting energy was like, because that's what gave me my cold. I had a head cold like a week ago, and it wasn't bad at all. Like I felt good, but your colds linger for so much longer because your immune system is way down. I was like, why is your immune system down? You'd think it would be like up with like the prenatals and all the stuff that I'm taking and being like aware of my health, but it's because if your immune system was really strong, you would attack the baby because it's foreign. So your immune system has to go down. Crazy, right? But that's not the thing. But nesting energy is the real deal. And I know I talked about this on the last update, but my nesting energy has gotten even stronger. And you want to clean, organize, move things. You shouldn't be moving things. Like you want to do, you can't shut it off. And that's what's been impacting my sleep. And that's why I'm running around like a crazy person, is because of my nesting energy. And I think that led me to get a head cold. It led me to get sick, and that's not good. I need to manage my nesting energy. But I've redone my entire place, you guys, minus the baby room, because I have a YouTube channel, Awestruck, that's gonna redo it for me.
That's hot.
Keep you posted on that. Thank God, because it's a lot. I've redone like paint. I didn't paint, even though I got 0 VOC paint. I had someone else paint to be safe, but everything from like painting to like artwork to, and I don't even have the money right now, to plants, to new rugs, to new couch, to new mattress. It's insane. You want to like purge the old to welcome the new. And I've never felt this way in my life because I'm not that type of type A personality. I just more easygoing. I keep a clean house, but not to this degree. So I'm wondering what you guys went through, because it's crack energy. It's crack energy. Like my house is spotless and it's a brand new house. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
It's crazy.
I would just love to see your version of like The Purge Birth Edition.
Oh my God, my husband's like, this is insane, Sam. Like 3 weeks ago when I was like at the peak of it all, like literally like hammering and like my husband's like, sit down. Like this is insane. Like this is insane, Sam. And I'm like, I know. And then I called
isn't it great?
And I called my sister. She's like, don't worry, I went through that too. She's like, I got new curtains. I'm like, me too. And she's like, I got new rugs. I was like, me too.
I got a new husband. That's gonna come.
It's crazy.
I ordered him on
because
Amazon.
a lot of the things you can't do on your own. I can't move all this stuff. So my poor husband, I'm like, Mark. And then 2 minutes later, I'm like, Mark, will you hang this picture? And then 2 minutes later, Mark, will you move this big tree? And then 2 minutes later, Mark, will you move the couch over here? Like,
Mark, will you move out?
Oh my God, it's psycho. So yeah, I want to know people's nesting stories because that's probably been the most like bewildering to me that we go through that like a bird, like with their you see the birds going back and forth, twigs in their mouth. Like that looks exhausting. It's the same goddamn thing.
Right.
It's bizarre. Anyways, but other than that, I feel good. I'm a little achy, but I'm feeling really good. So, okay. Grace is laughing at me. It's exciting.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I guess the next pregnancy update will be like in a month, so like 32 weeks, and then probably one more.
I think we should do a Pop Sugar reality like in the delivery room. Like that would that'd be dope.
No. Let's call it full frontal.
I want it
Samantha Shocker.
Private. We've been debating like when do we have our family come in. I just want to like bond with Mark and the baby.
Yeah.
And everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I'm sure some people love when their family rush in right after. I don't know, that's something Mark and I have to discuss.
I had a friend who gave birth, and I know we gotta wrap up, and they say that when after the baby is born, you automatically
skin to skin.
Skin to skin, and he didn't let anyone in his family hold the baby for like at least 2 weeks.
And that's okay, that's his prerogs.
Yeah.
I gotta still look at the pros and cons, and I know that obviously Mark and I will do skin to skin. And then I know like the lactation nurse comes in and teaches you like making sure that the baby latches. It's bizarre, isn't it bizarre?
Yeah, God.
I guess, I don't have to worry about pumping for a while. I guess like the first 4 to 6 weeks, it's just the baby's nursing.
Steady
and
flow.
then at some point, since I'm gonna want Mark to bottle feed if I'm like late or whatever, like coming home, I'll pump. So I gotta learn how to pump too. I was watching my sister all weekend. It's bizarre. It's crazy.
Life.
Oh my gosh, it's so weird. I just want to be in the mix of it. I just want to I don't want to be overwhelmed. I want to know how to pump. I want to know how to breastfeed. I want to know how to swaddle. Yeah, so, okay. Anyways, please share your thoughts and we'll have the next one in like a month.
Nice thoughts, kind thoughts.
Yeah.
They better be kind thoughts, yo.
Yeah,
and
guys.
they have been. The baby updates,
Good.
I've been
Right.
really, really so grateful for all of your supportive comments and questions, and I read them all, especially the baby updates. I'm obsessed to hear what you have to say because a lot of the mommies out there have shared their experience, and I'm learning from you guys. So please continue to share what you can give me. And then I'm gonna have a pregnancy blog out. It's a little late. I was hoping to launch it a couple months ago, but I've been plugging away on it.
It's awesome.
It's a cute little pregnancy blog, and it features other moms, which I think is really cool. So it's
Great.
about empowering you. Okay, and we'll see you next time on Pop Trigger.